Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and when I got a chance to visit LEGO headquarters all the way back in September for an event called Fan Media Days, I got a chance to see some brand new LEGO Star Wars sets releasing on January 1st, 2026. And these ones were from the adult collector's line. So we had a midi-scale AT-AT, a brand new smaller Buildable BB-8, which is in scale with the C-3PO figure and the R2-D2 figures they've released recently, as well as a couple of other surprises. And so, join me as we sit down with the designers of these sets and take a hands-on look at these three brand new LEGO Star Wars 2026 set reveals.
So yeah, we have three sets here, and I'm going to start presenting one in the middle here, the Venator. It is an 18 plus set with 643 pieces, and it's from the Starship collection. This one here is based on the ships seen in the Venator-class, which is in the start of like very first scene where you come flying in and you see the Venator. And yeah, it's the Open Circle fleet, the one that is led by Obi-Wan and Anakin. And this ship has a lot of cool details. So I'll start from the side here first. We have this cool tapering here. It's a very flat ship, but it also goes to like a point. So making that was quite fun. And you can also look at the sides here. We have these ventral, on both sides. We have these ventral hangers with greebling on the side. And this greebling has some cool little Easter eggs like a Star Wars blaster and also like a New York High sword. On the back, we have all of the very different sized engines, and we've got some also cool part users here, I would say, with the barrels, and there's some palm tree top elements. And talking about elements, this set also has a new element. It's this 4x4 corner tile, and it has two prints for that, so left and right for these stripes. It is also on the bottom. And this Open Circle fleet here is also the printed piece you saw last time from the Acclimate. Besides that, it also has windows, barely seen in the superstructure, hidden away, but still, if there's light coming through, you can see it. And it also has what I would say is pretty cool Easter egg. So in the middle here, you take the top off. Then on the inside, you have a little representation of the two interceptors I've seen in the start. Of course, not to scale, but we don't make pieces that small. And then on the inside here, you also have some blue plates, transparent blue plates, to represent these hangers. And lastly, this set was sketched by a colleague of ours in Lego City called Corbin. And when he came with this to me, he was saying that he did the invisible hand, which I did the sketch for, so it's this kind of like symmetry in it. And we both agreed, loving these two ships, that if we could make it to scale with each other, that would be great. So this is as close as we can get it to scale with the invisible hand. Yeah, that's mine.
My name is Jackson Hughes. I'm a model designer on the LEGO Star Wars team, and I love the Starship collection. We all love the Starship collection, so we thought, why not extend the concept to a ground vehicle? This is the AT-AT, as seen in the Battle of Hoth. It has 525 elements, it's an 18 plus model, and it will release on January 1st, like the others here. It is complete with lots of greebling and details. I'll turn it around so that you can see it. There are 8 printed tile elements on the legs, as well as a printed plaque in the front. And the scene is tied together quite literally by Wedge Antilles' snowspeeder flying around the legs to tie them up with a tow cable, just like in the movie. There are a few Easter eggs on the inside of the model. Inside the head here, you'll see a microscale representation of General Veers, and on the other side, an AT-AT driver. And then on the inside of the model, there are a couple more. There's a group of microscale snowtroopers, as well as a printed thermal detonator element that represents the one that Luke throws up into another AT-AT in the film. I'll pass it off to Henrik.
Yeah, my name is Henrik, and I'm also a Star Wars designer. Been here for many years. I'm here to present a new Buildable BB-8. This is a little smaller than the ones we have seen before, but this is because this is all scaled to the brick-built R2-D2 and C-3PO, so you can post them next to each other. Working with this one, I also really wanted to get rid of all of those studded areas, and I really wanted to have the decorations. So this comes with two different printed discs and two different printed of these curved elements. But what I really like about this one is that when you roll it, there is a small wheel underneath. So when you roll it, it randomly turns its head. And this is completely random. And it also swirls a little. So you see this. And all the discs turn. And of course, there's the function in the front that opens. And you have the lighter that you can pull out. And an extra small arm here also. And because this is on Jakku, there's a lot of sand, so you have small pieces of sand in here that came into the structure. And it's a completely different build than what we've seen before. Now it doesn't really work here. So it's built completely different. It's built like two of more or less the same build, but upside down and then connected. So it's really, really different from the ones we've seen before. And I hope you really like it.
Thank you, of course, to the LEGO Star Wars design team for showcasing these sets for us. I always think it's interesting seeing what the Star Wars team is cooking, but honestly, these are maybe some of the least exciting sets for me personally. I do like the midi-scale lineup enough, and I do really like the building techniques used for a lot of the ships, but I also feel like they are some of the more overpriced sets of the entirety of the Star Wars lineup. The Venator, however, is really, really nice. I like the angles used there, and given my nostalgia for the Clone Wars, I actually think that this is a really solid set, and you can spy a lot of interesting new parts there too. Unfortunately, the BB-8 is the one set that is very confusing to me because they didn't announce it during the reveal, but this set costs $90 US. It has 569 pieces, which is pretty crazy. I don't understand why this is $90. It's also 90 euros and 80 British pounds, so the price is pretty consistent across all regions, and I cannot fathom why on earth this is worth that much money. I feel like this is maybe a $50 or $60 set at best, and I think it's cute enough, but honestly, it feels a little blocky in some ways. It definitely shows the limitations of building a spherical object at this scale, and the price absolutely is not doing it any favors. I don't know, just kind of cute to see it roll around and see the head move as you roll it, but other than that, I cannot see why this is worth $90 whatsoever, and I'm really curious to get my hands on it and see if my opinion changes at all after I get a chance to build it myself. The mini-scale AT-AT though is actually probably one of my favorites out of these three that they revealed. I really like the walking pose. It just feels very dynamic and realistic compared to what we see in the movie. The small snowspeeder is very cool to have whizzing around the legs as well, but overall, for the first three Star Wars set reveals for 2026, these don't really interest me that much, and I'm very excited to see some of the future sets, like, of course, the Mandalorian and the Star Wars Clone Wars sets that are going to be coming out with the Mandalorians, as well as these Smart Brick sets, which are probably going to be revealed any day now, so I'm much more interested to see those sets and just give my full opinions on that, but here's a little bit of a teaser in terms of what you can expect out of LEGO Star Wars next year, and of course, we do have the designers on hand for a quick Q&A session as well, so let's jump to that and wrap up the video.
Hi, I've got a question for Jackson. So now that they are land vehicles, is it still called the Starship Collection, or has the name changed with that collection?
I don't know the answer to that question.
One thing is for sure, the Starship Collection is still here.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Thanks.
Did you say that was a 4x4?
yeah, corner tile.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 4x4 tile and then cut diagonally.
Right, triangle. Okay.
Could we get a nice view from the top?
While they're doing that, for the BB-8, did you know that you wanted to add that feature in with the head, the randomization, or did that come just from the design?
It was part of the design, but I didn't want it just to spin. I wanted that like he's looking all around.
And was that a long process to figure out the perfect?
Yeah, it was quite difficult to make that function. Yes.
I'm excited to see how that works.
Yeah.
What was it like approaching the 8080 at that scale, Jackson? What did you kind of think about? Did you try any other scales on your way there? Yeah, how did you land on that?
The scale for this model was set by the leg joints. We knew we wanted to have a decorated element there, and so more or less I just kind of took the reference image and crunched it down to that scale. It is of course always a challenge to design in this smaller scale to get the details just right, because we strive for a high level of accuracy with these mid-scale models. I think the most difficult part of it was the head. There's just some subtle positioning of like the I don't know what you call it, the visor, the windscreen, and the lasers on the front, that just finding the right piece to get it where it needed to be was a bit of a challenge.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.